If you like physical work and enjoy organizing, take a look at materials technician as an occupation. A materials technician does warehousing activities such as shipping and receiving, as well as planning and managing the movement of goods for an organization. We spent some time with a materials technician to get the goods on this occupation.
My name's Neil Van Dyke. I handle materials in the warehouse for Connect Logistics Services. As a materials technician, I'm responsible for moving the product to where it's needed, from anywhere to anywhere in the warehouse, which is about the size of 4 football fields. Typical workday for me starts at about 1 o'clock. We come in and we have a small briefing session in which we go over the production numbers that we're looking at for that particular day. And that'll give us a pretty good idea of, if we're going to be jumping in and helping in other zones or whatever. From there, we go to the equipment area and pick up the machine we're going to be using. We're responsible to do a checklist, just a little bit of a walkabout to make sure everything's working. The truck mount computer terminal allows us to access the Manhattan inventory control system. Of course, it keeps track of where everything is, so if you're actually taking stuff and moving it somewhere else, you have to tell the system what you're moving and where you're moving it. There are little barcodes, separate one on every pallet that we handle. And again, that identifies exactly which product is being moved. And once it's moved, every location has its own barcodes, and you scan them into that location via those, so that the system knows where you've put it down. The main machine that I use is called a reach truck. It's basically a straddle type forklift. It has 2 outriggers on the front, between which the load is lifted and lowered. The front mast has a pair of forks on it. They get up about 3 stories tall, and it's used to sort of twist and turn in the aisles to get product into and out of the racking locations. Of course, the equipment's all electric, battery powered, so you have to change the batteries, but they're big and heavy, so we use a battery changer. It's actually a magnetic thing that pushes them in and out of the machines whenever they're needed.
The entry-level position for Connect Logistics is kind of a general warehouse role. It's not set aside. When you come in, you don't technically go into one role. There are several different roles you can work your way into, whether it be a material technician for the production side or a material technician in receiving. We've even had people go right into the material inventory process of the operation.
I came into this occupation about 12.5 years ago. I actually attended a job fair that Connect Logistics was running at one of the local hotels, and I found it quite interesting. I applied and was accepted. My responsibilities here at Connect is making product available for the assembly crew. We have an order picking crew. They drive around the production path, taking the boxes that they need for the particular order they're working on. And my responsibility is to make sure that the product they need is always available for them. I work alone, of course. The machine that I work on is a one-man machine, so of course I'm going solo. But you work as part of a team. The skills needed to do the job, probably one of the biggest ones is patience. You're handling a machine that can do some damage. So you have to be aware, you have to be patient, and you have to do everything you do with safety in mind. Safety equipment that's mandatory are steel-toed work shoes or boots and a reflective vest. That makes you seen easily by everyone. The physical traits needed to do this kind of work aren't overly demanding. Most of the things that you're handling are 30 to 40 pounds. You should be, good and flexible. You're bending down and reaching up for a lot of things, so that helps as well. The technology that we use here in this warehouse changes a lot over the years. The inventory system that we're currently using, we've had in place for about a year. So there's lots of interesting things to pick up about it just about every day. Advancement opportunities are actually quite plentiful. There's lots of movement. There's always job postings, new job postings up on the board. Currently, you don't need a material handling ticket to operate this machinery in the warehouse. Our training is all done in-house. But taking additional training when available is always useful. And there is a new government-sponsored apprenticeship materials technician program being instituted. The hours I work pretty well for me because one of the things I like doing with my spare time involves music. I do a lot of writing and recording at home on my computer, and starting work at 1 in the afternoon, I've got a fair bit of time in the morning, you know, to sit and tinker with my toys. If someone told me they'd be interested in pursuing an occupation like this, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd say go for it. Materials technician is actually the perfect career choice for me, as it turns out, and I've been running with it for 12.5 years now. I like the atmosphere, and I've made friends, and it's worked out great for me.
To become a materials technician, you will typically need 3 12-month periods of apprenticeship, including on-the-job training and technical training each year. If the occupation of materials technician interests you, there's more information available, including educational requirements and salary ranges, in the occupational profiles on ALICE. You may also be interested in the related occupations of customs broker, parts technician, or station attendant ramp service agent. Learn more on the ALICE website and make the most of your future. Visit us at alice.alberta.ca.